changing seat. Okay.
I know. Right when he called me, he's got a place in there.
Okay. Thank you. Right on the dot. Right. If you're already getting the emails, you don't need to get it. So good morning. How's everybody doing? Yeah, it's a good day. A little overcast, high 70s. Couldn't ask for better for yoga in the park, right? So as everybody continues to trickle in, go ahead and find your place on your mat. Let's come to standing. Can you hear me in the back? Okay. You have music and voice back there. Everything sounds good? Okay. Thank you. Always like to make sure. All right. So we're going to stand up, but we're going to turn sideways on the mat. We're going to turn the long way. So turn to the left side the long way. And open your feet up kind of wide. Like if you were standing forward, what's your left? Yeah, that way. So this side goes to Federal Highway, this side goes to downtown. Yeah, that's how it goes. And all of you that are not facing one way or the other, you just figure it out. This practice here in the park for the last 12 years has been really good for my OCD. I have had to give up control. Like people are everywhere in all directions. Like in the studio, we have little dots on the floor where I'd like the mats to be, you know. And part of that is because when everyone is in lines, I can see your form. I can see your alignment. Like it's easier as my eyes are trying to scan as I'm teaching. I'm looking for these plane lines that exist in the poses, and I can see when we're off them and speak to it, right? So here, it's a disaster. I know it's up-leveled my teaching, yeah, and it's just really good for me. Just thought I would share. All right, so we have a little bit of work going on over here to the right. We're going to try not to let it distract us. When you look down at your feet, let's make sure that they're like wider than your hips and a little pigeon-toed, which means your heels are a little wider and the outer edges of your feet will be parallel with the edges of the mat. And then let's just take a deep breath. Breathe in, reach your arms up high over your head. Yeah. And then exhale, bring them down. Just work on the timing of the breath and the movement. Syncing up. Inhale, arms reach. And exhale, arms come down. We'll do one more like that. Inhale, reach the arms. And exhale, bring them down. On this one, we'll inhale, bring the arms way up high overhead. Interlace your fingers, turn them inside out, and push the heels of the hands up toward the sky. And then just work on this one little action for me. As the arms go up, did you feel like your ribs kind of started poking forward and your tailbone went out? Yeah, let's see if we can just draw that back in. Yeah, a little bit of discipline there. That's really good, right? It just takes a little bit of mindfulness. This is going to be a really important action because we're going to do a lot of flat back work today, so I want you to feel how that feels, to keep the ribs in. Push up a little more through the heels of the hands. Press down and out through your feet, tailbone down. And then go ahead and take a little stretch to your right. Feel into the side body. Tip your ears back, look up toward your thumbs. And then inhale, rise and go over to the other side. Just feeling into the body, breathing and moving and stretching. Be careful those front ribs, there's no back bend here. Yep, and then come back up to center. And then bring your hands to heart center. Turn the palms in toward each other. So good. Inhale, both arms reach. Bring your hands to your hips this time. And then inhale, extend, lift the chest. And exhale, fold over. A nice deep crease at the hips. Hold with a flat spine, let the head down. Yeah, and if that lower back is already feeling tight, just honor it. Go ahead, fold all the way, let the head down. Just feel into that. Where's the sensation? Do you have tightness in the back of the legs, in the lower spine? Let's go ahead and release our fingertips down. And then just bend the right knee so you can feel a little bit into the inseam of the left leg. And then transfer it over to the other side. It's really nice. And then we'll find the center. Let's get up on our fingertips, lift the chest, make the spine a little bit longer. And then lift the right arm up, twist toward the side. So a little spinal twist. The feet are nice and wide, the spine feels long. See if you can draw the head forward. If your chin is drawing toward the chest, that means you're rounding the upper back. So take the chin a little away from the chest and lengthen. Yeah, that looks good. Now, can you use your left hand a little more to help you twist a little deeper? There we are. Yeah, and then look down, release your arm down, just switch to the other side, like with a curiosity, right? Like none of this is contortionist, this is like simple movements, linear movements, just starting to feel where you're at in your body. And we'll push into the right hand, get a little deeper twist, open out of that left chest. And then the eyes come down, the hand comes down, and put your hands on your hips. Empty out all of your air, and then with a big inhale, lift your head, lift your chest, and rise back up. Good. Inhale, both arms reach. Open the arms out like a T. Good. And then bend your elbows and make goddess arms. Now in this position, it's important that we get the elbows as high as the shoulders and the hands right over the elbows. So we're looking for like good angles here. And then I want you to bring your elbows a little forward and your hands a little back. So there's a twist in the upper arm bone. I'm just going to hold that. Check your rib cage, check your tailbone, make sure you're not flaring. Yeah. Pull in that belly just a little bit. And then we're going to come right in front of the face. We're going to put the elbows and the palms together right in front of us. Just like that. Press into the palms, press into the elbows. Now see if you can get those elbows to stay as high as the shoulders. Yep. And then maybe get the hands a little bit away from the face. And then work a little harder to squeeze into the midline. I want you to activate the chest. You know, this starts to get a little annoying, right? Yeah. But I want you to keep the action. Keep pressing into the midline. Take a deep breath here, and then fold halfway, flat back. So the back is flat. We're looking out past the fingers. The chest is reaching forward. That's really good. Now, keep that belly in. Keep looking out in front of you, but bend the right knee a little bit. Stretch into the left leg. So good. Hold that core. Yep. And then slow and steady, come up and over to the other side. Yep, this is really good. And then we'll find the center again with the same flat back. Pull in the belly and rise on an inhale. Good, as soon as you're ready to exhale, let your arms go. And just say it. Inhale, both arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Let's inhale, look up, lengthen. And then start walking your hands to the right. You're walking to the front of the mat. You'll turn your feet, you'll be in a low lunge, or hands down. And we're gonna simply step into plank pose. So the right foot steps back, we'll hold right there. And then lower down slowly on your exhale. Good, inhale for cobra. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Oh, it's nice to see all of your faces now. So we're going to push back just a little bit. Feel the pressure under the handprints. Feel the lift of the hips. A little power in the legs. And I want you to lean your hips to the right. Just start to feel the sensation as you move a little bit sideways. And then switch to the other side. Let your hips lean a little to the left, and there is sensation there. It could be the outer hip, the lower back. It could be down the outside of the legs. And we keep our feet hip distance apart here, so we have good solid footprints. And then return to center. Good. Walk your hands back to your feet. So we're going to walk to the back of the mat. Feet are hip distance. Bend the knees 90 degrees. Drop your hips, reach your arms forward. Half chair pose. Ooh. So you got to sit those hips back, but reach forward through the chest. Again, it's that flat back, and feet are open about hip distance. I want you to imagine you had a ball between your knees, right? So the legs squeeze in, the feet push down and out. Yeah, there's a lot of action going on there. There's heat starting to build. I can feel it. Now pull your hands into heart center. Sit a little lower in the hips, and then take a forward fold. That's a long hold. I'll come back to it. Let the back of the legs just effervesce. Let the hamstrings release. Let a little heat out of the back of the knees. Let's inhale, look up, lengthen. Exhale, fold. And then rise with a flat back. Lift the head and chest, reach the arms all the way out and up. Yeah, that's it. And then arms come down by your sides. Inhale, both arms reach again. Let's take the right arm and just drop it down by our side. And then take a little stretch over to the side. So good. Opening up the left side of the body. Reaching up, reaching down, feeling it in both directions. And then again from the core, from the inside, pull yourself back up, lift that, left arm high, right arm high, sorry. And then switch to the other side, left arm drops. We take a little stretch into the side body. Yep. We're gonna stay long in the torso today. So I want you to keep feeling a little drawing down in the tailbone, a little bit of drawing in through the ribs. And as you rise up, left arm rises. Let's bring our hands right to the heart. Good job. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Fold right in. On this inhale, bend your knees, sink your hips, and look forward. Half chair pose. This is good. We're going to sit nice and low. Get the legs a little bit juicy. Bring the hands together at the heart. Pull in. And then put the right elbow inside the right knee. Show me your spinal twist to the left side. Make a little lock as the elbow pushes the leg and the leg pushes the elbow. Yeah, and you can release the arms, exalt the arms, reaching out in both directions. There's always that press down and reach up. Yeah, I like what I see. And then left leg can straighten. Just see how it feels, straightening the left leg. Just making a little more space, opening the chest. You look amazing. It looks like it feels good. Draw the head back. Take one more breath. And then exhale, let it go. Eyes down, hands down, soften your knees. It's always good to take a breath or two in between. And then we come into the other side. Bend the knees, sink the hips, reach your arms forward. Check in with that flat back. And this one, it's really easy to put your belly on your thighs or to just let your ribs stick out, let your tailbone stick out, but just kind of pull yourself together here. There's a sense of integration in the core. And then palms together, pull it in, we go to the left. Left elbow inside left knee, we twist right. There we go. See if you can get your hips a little lower than your heart. So we drop the hips down, we lift the chest up, we exalt and reach in both directions, and then the right leg straightens. Don't be afraid to make space in your body, drawing the head back. Let's take one more breath, and then just simply let it go, soften, right into that forward fold. We're going to keep our knees a little soft this time. Pull the belly into the spine and start to roll up one vertebra at a time. Take your time coming up, stack your spine. We're going to stand tall at the back of the mat. Good. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on the in-breath. Let's walk forward into our plank pose. So we come into upper push-up, we organize ourselves, and then lower down nice and slow. Take it to the belly. Inhale for cobra. You're gonna feel so good today. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, right foot steps up, stay on your left toes. High crescent lunge. We rise on an inhalation, we take our time. There's no like race to the top because then you're just gonna stay there, right? It's like racing full speed to the red light, you know? It's like you just kind of ease in and then you keep breathing and then everything keeps moving, flowing. Now I'd like you to be a little straighter with the back leg and lean into it a little bit. That's it. Good. And then open the arms out like a T. Rotate so the palms go down and then the palms go back. And we're just gonna hold there for just a moment. See if you can keep them as high as your shoulders. Anyone getting a little burn there? Yeah. And then in super slow motion, turn the palms forward and then turn them up and see if you can turn the thumbs back. Just a little bit of warmth in the shoulder. Yeah, like what I see. And then just inhale, the arms rise. On the exhale, we flow. Hands down, step back, lower. Moving through your flow, inhaling through the back bend, and then exhaling as you take your way back to downward facing dog. Let's try the other side. Simple lunge. Left foot steps to the left hand. Right foot stays on the toes and we rise on an inhale. There's no rush. We're going to use these breaths here, this time, to integrate the pose, to check the rib cage. Make sure you feel the balance in your weight in your feet and the action in your legs. And then we'll open the arms out like a T. And we'll start with palms down and then thumbs back. That internal rotation, keep them as high as the shoulders. Hold your head up, lean back slightly into the back leg so your front leg doesn't give up on you. And then we'll turn the palms again. Palms go up and then the thumbs go back. We rotate. Just starting to feel a little heat in the shoulders. So good, everyone. Inhale, reach the arms up. On the exhale, take your flow. Hands down, step back, and lower. Inhaling through cobra. Good, and then exhale, downward facing dog. All right, so we're gonna give a little push back, take a deep breath in, and then give me a little sound on the exhale. Give me a little release. A little sigh. I didn't hear you. Did you just have a super easy week? Is everything great in your life? Yeah, take a deep breath in, open your mouth, make a sound, sigh it out. Oh, there it is. Let's let go a little in yoga. This is a free space for our bodies to let the tension go. When you're ready, look forward. We're gonna walk our feet up to the top of the mat. Take your time, bring the feet together, please. And then lift halfway, inhale, fold deeply, exhale. Here we go, chair pose. Bend your knees, sink your hips, feet are together now. Arms reach high to the sky. Biceps are near the ears. They may not get close, they may be a little wide, but get them as straight as you can. A little bit of fierceness in the triceps. So you feel this energy reaching up for the sky, but you're also sitting down. Yeah, I really like what I see here. Let's push through both feet, come to standing. Take a little stretch back. Make the front of the hip flexor feel long without flaring the rib cage. And then the hands come to heart center. Okay, stay right here. Lift your right knee up to your chest. In that same place, the front of the hip, we're going to feel a little work in the crease there. Press into your palms, hold your head up high, and then squeeze that right knee up a little higher. I said right knee, didn't I? Just work that a little bit. And then very slowly put it back down. Let's switch to the other side. Just working on the balance. Standing in the right leg, lifting the left. Holding form, right? The crown of the head is lifted. We're pressing into the palms. Lift it a little higher. Yeah, I knew you could. And then gently, slowly put it down. Good. Inhale, both arms reach. Let's take the arms out like a T and hold them as high as the shoulders. Now stand in your right leg, but lift your left leg laterally. Take it out to the side. That's it. You feel a little burn in the outside of that hip right away, yeah? Anyone else get that? Right around here, you start to feel that? Lift a little higher, because you can. So good, everyone. And then put it down. Let's just flip the palms over. Palms up this time, holding them out there. And then lift out to the right. Try not to lean. You want to stay centered. Let the work be isolated into the medial glute, the outer hip. Good. And then both feet go down. Inhale, reach your arms high. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to flow. Good. Lift halfway. Inhale. Let's go to plank and lower on the exhalation. Inhaling through cobra. Exhale, take it back to downward facing dog. Let those hips lean a little to the left and a little to the right. Yep. All right, when you're ready, let's walk forward to the top of the mat. Bring your feet right up to the top. Feet together, inhale, lift halfway, exhale and fold. Bend your knees, sink your hips, come into chair pose. Show me what you got here. Sit low, reach high, and then push through your feet, come all the way up. Let's keep the arms reaching high to the sky and take that right knee up and into the belly. Okay, we're gonna add on. We're gonna take that right leg behind us now. I'm gonna switch legs. Take it behind, see if you can keep your balance on your left leg. Stay active in the right leg and the right foot. Lift your biceps near the ears. And then stand tall, bring that right knee back into the belly. Yeah, and then the arms come down as the leg touches down. Let's do the other side. Inhale, arms reach. Left leg rises. We go parallel to the ground. Flat back here, remember? Tailbone in, ribs in. Lengthen through the arms and the leg, and then bring the knee to belly. The leg comes down as the arms return to your sides. Good. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on the inhale. Let's go to plank and lower on the exhalation. Again, moving through a vinyasa, keeping a little bit of heat. Inhale through your back bend, exhale into down dog. And then come into high crescent lunge. Right foot steps, left foot on the toes. We'll come on up, we'll rise facing forward. And then we're gonna play with something a little bit new. Arms come out like a T. We're gonna bring them in front of us and we're gonna cross. If you have the left foot in front, it's gonna be right under left. I think I said it right. No, you have right in front. Let me think about that for 1 second. You have right in front. It's going to be left under right. Switch that up for me. So we cross the upper arm as much as we can. We cross the elbows. See if you can cross the forearms and then get your palms to touch. In a lot of cases, the shoulders are tight and you can't get like that. So you put the back of your hands together. And if even that's not happening, work them toward each other, even if there's a big space there. Now, left arm pushes up, right arm pushes down, and the hands move away from the face. Does it feel familiar? Okay. Now, I want you to trust that right leg, and I want you to put the weight in the right leg and float your left leg behind you. Very nice. Then the feet come together, come to standing. Let's take a little back bend. Lift the elbows, draw the tailbone down. Try not to flare the rib cage. Take your gaze to your thumbs. All right. When you're ready, you release. Elbows come into the heart. And then we untangle the arms and take a full sweep all the way up. Good. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on your in-breath. Let's go to plank and lower on the out-breath. Nice work. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog into left foot, high crescent lunge. The left foot steps, just stay on the right toes. Let's rise up. We'll get it right this time. Arms go out like a T. And then it's left under, right under left this time. Yeah. Now, remember when we were doing it so simple, when we just had the hands pressing, the elbows pressing, all of those principles apply here. Elbows as high as the shoulders, hands a little away from the face. So we want the elbows higher than the heart. Lift them. That's it. Now, with a flat back and your gaze out past your fingers, we're going to lean into the front leg and start floating the right one behind us. Oh my God, you guys are so good. So good. I am so happy right now. You're focused and you're breathing. Let's just step our feet together. Come on up. Let's keep the back bend. Yep. Extend the spine, open the front of the hips. And when you're ready, you bring the elbows down and release. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, let's flow. Hands down, step back and lower. Do it at your own pace. Follow the rhythm of your own breath. You know the movements. Let's do them with some mindfulness. Let's do them with some care. And we'll find our way to down dog together. Okay. All right, when you're ready, walk your hands back to your feet. Soften the knees and roll up like a rag doll. It's a moment for reintegration, reorganization, grounding the feet, and then standing tall at the back of the mat. Good. Inhale, both arms reach. This time, let's put our hands on our hips. Soften the knees. And as you soften into the knees, I want you to pick the right knee up. So now we're not doing it with a straight leg. We have the right knee up high in the chest. We have the left leg sitting low. You can feel that. Tailbone down, front ribs in, head high. So good. And then stand tall and put your foot back down. Right? So just a slightly different muscle action. We lift the left and then we sit into the right. Just playing, introducing some new texture, new movement into the body. And then straighten the standing leg, plant your left foot down. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Good. You can leave your feet hip distance apart, but come to chair pose for me. Sink both hips. Bend both knees, reach your arms. Now lift your right knee as you sit deep in chair pose. Good. Lift it a little higher and then cross it over your left leg and put your right toes on the floor and then sweep your arms behind you. Let's practice folding with a flat back. Let's work with the legs here. The left leg pushes up, the right one pushes down, and the hips square a little bit. Now I'm seeing a little rounding in the upper back. Let's see if we can lift the collarbones. Look to the front edge of your mat. Lift the collarbones a little higher. Squeeze the legs, squeeze the hips, sit a little lower. Now you're going to come to standing, reach the arms and pull the right knee up to the chest. Find your balance. Oops, it's dynamic movement and balance, right? And then put it all down. You're moving so good today. I'm just going to keep giving you more. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale and fold. I love what I see. Let's lift halfway. Take a breath. Exhale, fold again, and then give me chair pose. On this side, we're going to try it. Bend your knees, sink your hips, reach those arms. Be careful. I see a little bit of like this going on, right? So we want to pull the tailbone down, pull the front ribs in. It can be a little bit less pose, right? It doesn't have to be 110%. That's not sustainable. Left leg rises. Good. Lift it a little higher. Cross it over the right and put your left toes on the mat. Try to cross the knees. Yep. And then we sweep the arms back. Here comes the flat back work. Squeeze the upper back a little bit. We've been really tight in the chest. We've been closing up the fronts. This is an opportunity to widen the collarbones. To sit the hips a little lower than the heart. That's it. Drop your hips, lift your chest. Amazing, everyone. Here comes that dynamic movement. Arms sweep high, left knee rises up into the chest. Come on up, find the grace. So good. And then we put it down all at the same time. Good. Inhale, both arms reach. Exhale, let's fold. Lift and lengthen, inhale. Walk your hands forward, plank pose. From here we lower down, nice and slow. Inhaling through cobra, and then exhale, downward facing dog. All right, how are we feeling here? Starting to feel good, I can tell. Okay, let's start to put some of this together. Right foot steps up, stay on your left toes. We come into high crescent lunge. From high crescent lunge, bring your hands to heart center. Press gently into the palms. Let's go ahead and lean forward. Let's float the left leg up behind us. You got this. Now, come to standing, left knee to belly. Press into your palms. Let's start to sit a little bit into the right leg. Good. Cross the left one over. Put your toe on the ground. And then instead of sweeping your arms back, we're going to take our arms into eagle pose. So it's left arm under right. We did it earlier. Left under right. Tangle it up there. Do the best you can with it, but find the integration. It's the left one pushing up, the right one pushing down. The same thing's happening in your legs. The right is pushing up, the left is pushing down. And then we're going to fold with that flat back. So don't round the elbows to the knees. Put the elbows in front of the knees. Flatten the back. Lengthen the waistline. Look out past your fingers. Oh my God, you guys are amazing. This is Instagram worthy right here, right? So silly. Okay, now with the flat back, we rise back up. Keep the arms, but pull that left knee up to the chest. We're going to come out with some grace. Plant your foot onto the ground and then take that little back bend. Lengthen the front of the body. Lift the elbows high. And then when you're ready, release your arms back into your chest. Untangle them. Let's take a reach up. Inhale. And then we take a flow. Hands down. Step back and lower. Yeah, nice energy today. Keep the rhythm of the breath. Inhaling through your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. So we know what's coming. I think it's going to be even more graceful on this side. Left foot steps up, stay on the right toes. The arms sweep up over the head. Bring the hands to heart center so you feel where your center is, right? You feel where you press into the midline. Trust your left leg. Lean a little forward and then float the right one behind you. Once you feel that sense of balance, you're going to start pulling that knee up forward to the chest. Hold your head high, flat back work. Standing leg starts to bend. You sit a little lower. As you sit low, lift that knee even higher and then cross it over. Go high at the inner thighs, cross it over, tap your toe to the floor, and then the arms sweep out. We're going to go right under left. Find the integrations in the arms and the legs. Remember your flat back and then start to fold. Full expression of the pose. Elbows pulling up and away from the chest. Hands reaching out, eyes past fingers. Yes, no rounding in the upper back. Squeeze the shoulder blades back against the resistance of your arms pulling forward. You've got this. You look so serious. This is so awesome. All right, now slowly, slowly, slowly start to come up. As you rise, lift your right knee. Find the balance. You've got this. And then put your foot down. It's like a celebration. And then take that back bend. Reach the elbows to the sky. Draw the tailbone down. Try not to flare your ribs. Then the elbows come back to the heart. Untangle your hands. And we'll take a flow. Here we go. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Doing great. Lift halfway. Let's go to plank and lower on the exhalation. Inhale for cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Woo! Yeah, you guys are having fun yet? Yeah? Okay. Right foot steps up. Keep your hands on the mat this time. We're going to walk our hands to the left. We're going to walk down the long edge of the mat, kind of where we started, and turn the feet in. Turn to the long edge of the mat. Turn your feet as you go. Walk to the left. Walk down the long edge of the mat. You got it? Feet are a little pigeon-toed here. Okay. Now, lift halfway. Put your hands on your hips. Hold that flat back. Find your breath. Squeeze the elbows up toward the sky. Feel the upper back engage. Make sure the belly didn't fall out. Sometimes we squeeze the top, we lose the bottom, right? So feel that whole thing integrate. Imagine the crown of your head drawing out. And as you do that, push your thighs back. Yeah, give yourself balance here. So both legs are straight. And the right toes are pointing not to the front of the mat. Yeah, you gotta turn it. Both feet should be, yeah, there you go. Makes more sense, right? Okay, let's rise on an inhale. Okay, inhale, arms reach. On the exhale, please bring your arms behind your back and interlace your fingers. Let's take a deep breath. Lift the chest. Feel the collarbones open wide. Feel the shoulder blades squeeze. And once again, please come to a flat back. Just working that halfway point. I think we skip this a lot. We bypass this spot. We just kind of go from standing to forward folding. I want you to feel some space in the crease of the hips. Don't dive in. Chest out, legs back. Upper back strong. Belly button in, supporting the spine. You should not be looking down. Look out. Yeah, there it is. Okay, I know this takes a little discipline. This isn't really the most fun part. But every time we do a static contraction like this, we hold, we develop our strength, right? It's not only about flexibility, it's about strength. Now, can you hold this and bend the right knee? Feel a little stretch into the left leg. Keep the chest up. And then super slow, go up through the center and over to the other side. When you're ready, we return to the center. Hands go on the hips. Inhale, rise. Oh, feels so good. Turn your toes out for just a moment. Let's bend our knees just a little. Both feet are turned out. The knees bend just a little bit. Both feet turn out, yeah? Yeah. Draw the tailbone down, the front ribs in. Can you feel that? Okay, we're gonna do one of my favorite things. We're gonna fold forward with a flat back here. It's weird. I know it's a little weird. That's it. Now I want you to take your right arm and reach straight out in front of you. So we have that flat back going on. So it's up in the air. And don't reach for the floor. Lift up in the air. Hold yourself. Now, right hand grabs left knee. And then take a twist. Look up, reach up. Left arm can go to the sky. Oh, yeah. Knees push back, head and chest pull forward. Make sure you're breathing. All right. You could even half bind here, wrapping the left arm behind, getting a little more action in that left shoulder blade. All right, release the bind if you took it. Let's put the left hand on the knee, move the right hand onto the right knee, and then come on up nice and slow with support. Straighten your legs and say it. Yeah, it's good. Just a little counter work. Inhale, both arms reach. Good. Hands on your hips. Let's bend our knees just a little. Find that place and then start that forward fold, flat back action. And then we're going to reach the left arm forward. Left arm is going to find the right knee, and then we start twisting. See if you can feel that action of pushing back with the legs. We've been crossing them into the midline the whole time. Work that outer hip. Feel that little burn. Push back. Open the chest. Maybe do the half bind. You got this. Get the spine long. Where's the flat back work we've been doing, right? Resist the urge to draw your chin to your chest. Draw the head back. Oh yeah, there it is. And then we'll put the right hand on the right knee, let the left hand return to the left knee, and then come up with a little support. Oh, so good, everyone. Inhale, both arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. It should feel pretty good. You can turn your feet. Inhale, look up, lengthen. Let's walk our hands to the front of the mat. You find yourself in that lunge, and then you step the right foot back. Lower yourself down, nice and slow. Inhale for cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay. Walk your hands back to your feet. We're going to take Malasana, which is a little wide squat at the back of the mat. And as you're in the squat, let's see if we can hold our head up, get that feeling of integration. Tailbone down, ribs in, arms come out like a T. Eagle arms, please, right under left. Just hold. Let your body remember everything you know. Now, this is optional. If anyone has any knee issues, I do not recommend that you try this. If your knees are healthy and you feel like your feet are grounded, then pull in from the pelvic floor and come on up. Yeah. And then we're just going to come right back down. So if that didn't work for you, you're just going to stay where you are. And we meet you right back where you were. Release your arms. Let's take them out like a T and then take the other side. Left under right. Hold that head up. I see lots of booty sticking out, belly's hanging out. Pull it in, lift your head up high. Breathe. And again, you can stay right here. Staying is no picnic, right? So you can try coming up and then coming back down, or you just stay. And then we're all going to release our hands and then just straighten the legs. We can all go into forward fold. Release there for just a moment. Let the legs release, let the lower back soften. Let's open our feet a little wider. Go to the edges of the mat. And then walk your hands over to the right ankle. Now the one thing I want to ask you to do is keep the left hip back, right? So you're really just taking your upper body off the midline. The hips are not going to change here. Pull back with the left hip as you pull your head to the right. Get your lower back to release. That's your QL. And your SI joint, And then come back to center. Notice your hips, keep them square in the center, and then just walk a little bit to the other side. Draw the head toward the shin. So we let the spine have a little bit of a diagonal. Try not to let the hips go with you. Some of you have let that hip come with you. So it's a really small action. Return to the center. I don't know why it won't let me go back there. And then look up, lengthen. This one's our last vinyasa. Walk it out into plank. Lower down, super slow. Inhale for cobra. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Okay. Let's take a moment and come to a seated position. And you know how I love this moment. Let's see if I can do something about the beats. Okay. So come to simple cross legs. Sit up tall, remember the work of the flat back. That mild amount of integration that it takes to keep everything from flaring. Give yourself a moment to feel all the energy of the practice. I think it's a really, really important practice to every once in a while in the frenzy of life to just stop and let yourself feel yourself where you are. There's a visceral experience that happens in the body to whatever is going on, like whether we're in like our happiest moments, if we stop and pause, we remember them, right? If we are in a stressful situation and we stop and pause, maybe we can make better rational responses to what's happening, right? So no matter what, in the busyness of life, like every once in a while, a red light is a gift, right? It makes you stop for a minute. Maybe instead of grabbing for the phone, checking messages in that pause, you just check yourself. So that's what we're doing right here, just stopping in the middle of all of it and just checking in. The one main thing that yoga asks of us is that we pay attention. When we start to pay better attention to ourselves, we actually start to pay better attention to life. Our life becomes more fulfilling, we become more present. There's a ripple effect to the benefits. So just for a moment, just be with me. Be with yourself, be with each other. Don't be afraid to feel. It doesn't even matter what it is as long as you let yourself feel it. Take a deep breath in. Let out a little sigh. That's it. Alright, one more time. We're going to play with that flat back. Unfold your legs. Put your feet in front of you. We're going to pull in the belly and the ribs. We're going to take the arms forward. But very often what I see when the arms go forward, I see a rounding of the upper back. So remember all the work we did of squeezing the shoulder blades back? Yeah, I want you to do that. Make sure your knees are bent here so your feet are on the ground. And then we're just going to lean back. See if you can keep that strong core. And what almost always happens is we go head first because the head weighs, I don't know, according to Jerry Maguire, is the human head weighs like 8 pounds or something like that, right? So lean your head back. Yeah, let the weight come into the work, right? Support yourself. It's those front ribs, the discipline of holding them in and not letting them flare, and then sacrificing the support for your spine. We're just going to take 3 more breaths here because I know you can do anything for 3 breaths, even the hard stuff. And then nice and easy, just sit on up. Round your back, tuck your chin, feel your back stretch. And then with a rounded form, just go ahead and lay yourself all the way down onto your back. We're not completely done yet, so don't get too relaxed. As soon as you lay down, I want your arms into the air and your legs up in the air. And then if you would, give me eagle legs, right over left. It might even be easy to make a bind here. You could get the right foot to go around the left ankle. And it helps a lot if the knees are bent to get that little extra bind there. So if you want to, you got to bend this one. And then you might be able to tuck it. Maybe not. Use your toes to try to grab it. Yeah, like that, squeezing. And then we're going to go right under left with the arms. So tailbone on the ground, just for a moment. And now we're going to lift head, neck, and shoulders and tailbone and squeeze the elbows and the knees toward each other. Shrink the space between your ribs and your hips. Pick everything up that you possibly can. Tailbone up. I know that this is not easy. Take a deep breath in, squeeze more on the exhale. Stay right there. Take another breath, squeeze more on the exhale. Last one. Take a deep breath and then just squeeze a little more on the exhale. And then let it go. Put your feet down, open your arms like a T. Uncross, untangle. Breathe. Yeah, set that free. Let's all do a clearing breath, a big inhale, and open mouth. Ah. And then we take our arms in the air, our legs in the air. We cross left over right with the legs. Left over right with the legs. Create the eagle legs. And then left under right with the arms. Create your eagle arms. Same level of integration here. Go ahead. Feel the legs push into each other. And then we're going to start to contract. We're going to pull the belly to the spine. We're going to lift head, neck, shoulders. Get the shoulder blades up. Get the sacrum up. Hook everything up off the floor. Squeeze in. Good. Bend those knees. Squeeze them in. Take a deep breath. On the exhale, squeeze more. We've got 2 more like that. Breathe in. Feel that inhale. And then use the exhale. Squeeze. Empty it out. Last one. Breathe in. And then squeeze. You got it. Let it go. Open the arms out like a T. Uncross your legs. And then put your feet together, please. And let the knees drop open. Supta Baddha Konasana. Open all that space. The chest, the hips, the belly. Let your breath come in and infuse every inch. Let's stay open. We didn't do too much with the hips open. Just a couple in the standing. And then that little squat at the back, so just let the hips have some space. All of that pulling on the outer hips is now soft. The inner groins that we're squeezing are now long, so just like let your body acclimate. Some shoulder work, some hip work, some spine work. You're gonna walk away feeling good today, I hope. And we'll leave our arms out like a T. Go ahead and close the knees up. Let's bring the knees to the belly. It's probably going to feel good. You can grab your knees and squeeze. Maybe you rock a little bit. And then let's start to slow things down a little. Let's take both legs, the hips over to the right side. As you lay your legs down to the right, let's open wide across the chest. Reach our arms out like a T. And then I'm going to ask you for one more little tweak here. I want you to push into your elbows and turn your chest a little more to the left. And then turn your head to the left and just rest. There's nothing else to do here. The body has an intelligence way beyond any of our understanding. Even doctors that spend their whole life and career like studying the biology and the mechanics and all of the things of the body, they say there's mystery. There's magic. There's unexplainable things that happen. Spontaneous healings. I actually think that each and every one of us is a miracle. I mean, the fact that we are just like up and walking around on this earth living our lives is just a crazy miracle. So let's not forget our precious moments. Let us never take our health and wellness for granted. Let's start paying attention. See what we notice. When you're ready, bring the arms in, turn the head to center, and we'll bring the knees back in. You can give them a squeeze. Sometimes after the spinal twist, we need a little bit of like an adjust. And then we'll create that beautiful twist on the other side. Both legs, the hips go over to the left. And once you let them settle, the arms come out like a T. And we're going to give that little adjust, push into the elbows so you can turn your chest a little more to the right. Just give that little upper thoracic turn. And then we look to the right and we just melt in. I asked you to come in full charge today a couple times, to use your breath and to dig a little, to hold a little longer than you wanted to. All of that is really important. We need to be able to step up to the plate and realize that we're capable of more than we think we are. And we also need to understand softness and when it's okay to back off. Believe it or not, through all of these crazy poses, that's what we're learning. And we breathe through the whole thing. We check our attitude. We develop a sense of humor around our imperfection. All right, let's bring our head to center, bring our arms in. Go ahead and draw the knees in. Give yourself a little squeeze. Not only did we get perfect weather, we've got kids and dogs and happiness all around us. Let's go ahead and move in any way that you need to. I'll give you like 30 seconds to just adjust, stretch, move anything that you feel like you need to, and then we're going to settle into our final resting pose. And that's not an invitation to roll your mat up and scoot out early. That is actually where your yoga begins. Be patient with yourself. Be the witness. Lay yourself out humbly on the earth. And continue that work of surrender. The legs go all the way out, the arms come down by your sides. We rotate from the shoulder so the elbow creases and the palms face up to the sky. And there's a trust that happens in Shavasana where we can actually even let go of the breathing, right? We've been controlling our breath, pumping loads of oxygen, using it to help us move deeper. Like that is so important. And right now we can let the breath go. We have an autonomic nervous system. We have like an automatic system that will actually make sure that you keep breathing. And you will breathe in exactly the most appropriate way for this moment. Not too much and not too little. It'll be just right. So stop controlling. Stop counting. Stop doing all of the things and just let go. So I want you to honor yourself in the best way possible. Take a moment and meet yourself where you are. And slowly you begin to think, you begin to breathe, you begin to move, all of the things. There's so many layers. yoga actually divides us into 5 layers. And so just let all of the parts of you integrate and come together. Eventually you'll come up into a seated position. I love this part because everybody kind of comes up at different times and I actually get to see a lot of faces that I didn't see the whole time. It makes me so happy. I actually feel like I know almost every single one of you. Maybe not by name. There's a couple of newer faces, but I don't want to say older faces, but how about faces, familiar faces that have circled back, right, after years. It's so nice. So let me just say thank you. Thank you for showing up. For those of you that are here week after week, month after month, year after year, like, you make this special. We're going to sit a little taller because we know how to integrate the spine. We draw the tailbone down a little and the front ribs in a little, and we just kind of feel things neutralize and lengthen up. And we can take that with us. And we're going to bring our hands together at the heart center. My voice feels a little rough this morning, so I need you to really hum with me because I'm going to try not to use the mic too much because I don't know what it's going to sound like. So we're going to take a deep breath in. Hello, beautiful little bird. Sweet little dove, huh? Okay. Hands at the heart, breathe in with me. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om peace, peace, perfect peace. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free. May the actions of my life and all of our lives somehow contribute to that happiness and that freedom for all. So that we may all sentient beings, our brothers and sisters all over this planet, the people in our community, not just us, people that do yoga, there is no other. So that we may all know peace, peace, perfect peace. Namaste. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a happy, happy Saturday. I do have passes and magnets. We have a couple things going on. Today, this afternoon, if you're interested, we have a transformational breathwork workshop happening at the studio. The teacher is Elise Montgomery. She's a really good facilitator with the breath. It's 1 hour. I think it's from 1 to 2 this afternoon if you're interested in breathwork. This is really interesting breathwork. It's like circular breathing, and it helps us work through some of the long-held traumas in the body, things we don't even know are there. I've done this breath work many, many times over the years. Sometimes it is the most joyous and amazing feeling, and sometimes I have cried through it and released things that I couldn't even name. I don't even know what it was. It could have been birth trauma I didn't even know I had. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just this really incredible, deep way of healing yourself. If you're interested or you're curious, try that today. What else do we have going on? Next weekend, Yin live music in the studio Saturday afternoon. Huh? Oh, and no yoga next weekend. Do you see what they're doing over here? They're hanging a banner because next weekend is another big art show. So the 8th, 9th, 10th weekend, we are kicked out, which is fine because then I could use a Saturday off, right? It's fine. So can Andy, right? Like, it'd be really nice to have a Saturday free. And so just remember, I don't want you to like pack up and come on over here. for yoga, unless you're willing to just put your mat in your car and go to the art show, then that would be fine. But I don't want you to be disappointed. So no yoga next weekend, and then we are back. I still have room for a couple of people, not too many spaces, but if you're interested in coming to Peru with me, come and talk to me about it. It's going to be an amazing trip. We have a group of girls here that are already coming. So nice. But I think we're up to about 15 registered, and I have 20 spots. So if you're interested in Peru, it's 7 days, 7 nights in the Sacred Valley. And we're going to be doing a little bit of a deep dive into the chakras. So we'll be in a sacred place. I got your message. Yeah, I will write you back. Yeah, I know a couple places for you. You're welcome.